You may have experienced what happened at the party the other night when
No, I didn't quite see it. You mentioned
she had kind of an emotional breakdown. And I'm sure that it's meant to be just personal between us, but we can have this dialogue. And she wanted to say things to me, and I don't exactly remember the way she phrased some of it, but I wish I could remember exactly how she said that, but she wanted to get a message to me that I wasn't receiving. And I was trying to tell her it's okay, you know. But she'd had more than enough to drink, but I think she was really working on the courage to say what she wanted to say. And she got pretty heavily criticized over that period, or whatever her behavior was. I didn't observe, but I guess it wasn't going well for everybody that night. And I kind of got the feeling that maybe it had to do with where she was at the time. Finally, she got to the point where I heard her. That's kind of where we were going. Where I hadn't been actually seeing her message up to that point. And she said, no, you're just not hearing what I mean. That's not what I mean. Finally, I said, okay, right, I'm listening. I'm just talk to me. And so she, in a very heartfelt and humbling way, she expressed to her how important it was for her to have me as a role figure for her, which I hadn't really thought of that much, you know. Okay, I can kind of get that. I understand that. But she made the comment. She said, "No," she said, "you just don't know." I said, "Dad he just disappeared without us being able to do anything." And she said, "Dad was always great, but he was never you." And she's talking to me, and I'm kind of going, "Oh, well, another one of those things you don't really see until you see it coming, you know." So she went on quite a bit about how important that had been to her to have somebody in her life that I got that role for, you know. And so I get it, you know. So finally I got it. I said, I understand what you're saying, you know. I said I, I was humbled and gratified and all of that, you know. But still, it was her cross to bear, and but to the extent that I was able to do that, I didn't have a problem with that. You know, it's just I just never had seen it happen that way, you know, where it came out in that strong emotion. And so, like this whole thing, people will take the time and the courage to say things they might have been feeling and doing that until something occurs that doesn't happen. And so when you see it happening around you and see how it affects other people, it made me at least feel like, oh, well, I'm glad that was what it was, you know. I guess part of the beauty is that I didn't really have to do anything but about it except keep doing what I've been doing in that regard, you know. It's not like I'm going to be able to take on a bigger role. It's not like I would have if I could have. This is what we do, you know. This is how it turns out. But for her, it was very important for her to get that out, and you know, I just in the end I kind of got the feeling that she was trying to find a way to reach that point that many of us have been working through, you know. And Katie took Katie out on the side last night, and I said, I just want to tell you one thing, because I knew Scott was coming, and she'd read Scott's thing. I said, I know you saw what Scott's thing was, but I said, what you need to know is that you're the first one that said something to me about what had been going on, and I was truly touched by it, and I felt your love in what you did. Of course, it broke her down, and I didn't intend to do that by any means, but she needed to know that I felt that way. So it was my obligation now to let her know that. There's no other way she's going to know if she can infer it or somebody else can tell her, but it's my opportunity to do that with her. So inside, I had to think about that a little bit, about how do I cross this bridge? How do I get there? And I just said, I'm just going to go out and tell her. It's a quick conversation. I'm going to tell you this, And her response after a moment was, said, I don't want you to die, I said, okay, none of us want us to die. I said, but that's part of it. That's part of what happens. So I don't know that I ever gave her much comfort over that one, but it's all I can give you on this. I can't guarantee anything. It's different, It's just what we're going to do. I don't know if that was pretty circular back to kind of where you started, but it was in trying to find the way you think about things. I find that oftentimes you get there in some obtuse triangulation method of how did somebody else kind of get there? How did you get it? And how do you, more often than not now, it's more, was that consistent with the way, has it changed my thinking of thing, and it doesn't happen very often now, but I remain open to it. At least I hope I do. I think that's, if you don't, you've missed an opportunity. But it's those two different conversations, though, were fairly interesting and enlightening in different sorts of ways.